In this video, we're going to talk about how to work with portable document format files, or PDF files. We're going to talk about 3 different things in this video, so feel free to skip ahead to the part that you need to talk about the most. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to discuss how to make a fillable PDF, something that you can save and something that you can digitally sign. The second thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how to create a digital signature. And the third thing we're going to do is talk about the difference between a signed form, a form that has a digital signature, and a form that is not signed, a form that has not yet been added to a digital signature. You'll notice up here, I've got Advanced Travel Authorization Form. My school has a form for me to fill out if I'd like to travel, and they have it in PDF format. However, you'll notice that it has a blue E here. That tells me that when I click on this PDF file, it's going to open in Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, in this case, Microsoft Edge. You'll notice I can still fill out the form, and I might even be able to save it. But if I scroll down to the part where I can sign the form, I can click that it's approved, and I can click here, but I cannot put in a signature. The digital signature portion is missing. That's because I need to be able to open this in Adobe Acrobat Reader in order to digitally sign the form. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. I'm going to show you a quick way to do this, and so if you'd like, you can go ahead and push fast forward, or you can move to the different part of the video and skip ahead maybe 15-20 seconds and see the quick way. What I'm going to do now is show you the long way by changing the settings on your computer so that your PDF files will always open using Adobe Acrobat Reader. All right, let's get started. You'll notice Adobe Acrobat Reader's icon is over here. It might not be on your desktop, but you'll notice that it's red. We will have successfully changed the PDF to be open in Adobe Acrobat Reader, and we'll be able to see that because the icon will have changed from one with a blue E to one with a red PDF symbol. In the lower left-hand corner, I'm going to click on the Windows icon, and I'm going to click on the Settings gear shift. In the Find a Setting, I'm going to type in Default App, and it's going to bring up 4 options. I'm going to choose Default App for each type of file. It's going to create an alphabetical list of all the file types that I could use, and I'm going to scroll down to .pdf, or Portable Document Format. You'll notice that when I get there, it will be set up to be opened in Microsoft Edge. I don't want it to open in Microsoft Edge, so I'm going to change that. The first time you do this, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And it's going to try to tell you why Microsoft Edge is a better product. And it might be. But if you're sure that you want to have it open in Adobe Reader, especially if you want to be able to edit and sign in certain ways, you want to make sure that you've moved from Microsoft Edge to Adobe Acrobat Reader. Notice that my icon over here has turned red. So I'm going to close this, and you can see when I click on this red icon, it's going to open in Adobe Acrobat Reader. Incidentally, the shortcut to do this, if you do not want to change the settings on your computer, but you want to open a specific file using that program, you will right-click, scroll down to Open With, and choose Adobe Acrobat Reader. For example, this icon will automatically open in Adobe Acrobat Reader. But if I right-click on this and I go down to Open With, and I select Microsoft Edge, I can still open the file using Microsoft Edge. I have that option. But for my purposes, I'm going to want to open this in Adobe Acrobat Reader. And now I have access to the form in the format that I can use to fill it out, save it, and then sign it. This next portion is going to be specifically talking about how to create a digital signature. Keep in mind that there are 2 types of forms we're going to have. We're going to have a fillable form, which is what we have now, and I can fill this out, I can save it, and then when I'm ready to continue with it, I can open it up again, and I can continue working. So if I go to Save As, and I want to save it to the desktop, and if I open it up again, you'll notice my name is still there. It saved my progress. This is different than a signed form. Once I have signed this digital form, with a digital signature, I will no longer be able to edit this form. And it's done that way to make sure that once I've signed the form, I can't go back and change it, or someone else can't change it in my name. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out this form, and let's say that I've already filled it out. At this point, I'm ready to begin creating my digital signature. Now you'll notice when I click on it, I already have a digital signature, but we'll pretend that that's not me. I'm going to click on this as if I'm going to sign, and I'm going to get a choice of all the digital IDs that might be saved on this computer. However, I'm going to configure a new digital ID. I'm going to create a new digital ID, and I'm going to create one and save it to file, not save it to the Windows Certificate Store. That way I have access to it on my computer, and I can also move that file to a shared folder and then have access to it on different computers as well. I'm going to put in my name. The organizational unit and the organizational name may change based on where you work or who you represent. In our situation, the organizational unit is our school, Metz Middle School. And our organizational name is the overall organization, known as Manassas City Public Schools in this case. Then I'm going to enter my email address. I'm going to click continue. I'm going to create a password. This password protects this digital ID, and I will end up using it every time I want to use it to sign a form. So I want to make sure this is a password that I've saved and I've written down somewhere. So you'll notice I now have 2 digital ID files by my name. You can create multiple digital signatures, but please remember that if you do this, you need to remember the password for each one. Once I click continue, now I'm going to sign the form. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the password that I created for this digital signature and click sign. Remember, once I've signed this form, I can't change that file. I can have a copy of my original file and edit that one, but I can't change the signed form. Once I've clicked sign, it will ask me to go ahead and save this signed copy of the form. You'll notice it's not signed yet. The form has not been created. What I usually do is I usually will hit a dash and put signed and click save. Now I have a signed copy, and this is what it looks like. You'll notice up here at the top, there's the title, and it says sign.pdf. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this, and you'll notice I have 2 files. I have the signed form, and I have the original. My signed form is something that I can send to someone else to get digitally signed. So for example, if I have to have an administrator or my supervisor sign the form, I can forward this to them, and I will have already signed it. They cannot edit the form, but they can sign it and move it on to the next authority. If I need to edit my form, I need to go back to the original form, open that file, and here we are, and I can continue editing it. You'll notice that it is not signed, but I can click here, and I can use my old digital ID, or I can use my new digital signature that I just created. If you have any other questions on how to sign a PDF, or whether or not a PDF is editable, or you need any assistance working with Adobe Reader, please contact your ITTS for more help, or go back to my channel, and there are several other videos that will be able to help with this topic. Thank you.